I moved to an apartment on a crisp November evening, thrilled to have found something so cheap in the city. It was tiny but clean, and the landlord, Mr. Grayson, seemed eager to have me there. As he handed me the keys, he said something odd. "Don't worry about the noises at night. Old building, you know." I shrugged it off. Every old building creaks, right? That first night, I lay in bed scrolling on my phone when I heard it. A faint tap, tap, tap on the wall. It sounded like it was coming from the unit next door. I hadn't seen anyone else moving in, but maybe they were just quiet neighbors. The tapping grew louder as the hours went on. At midnight, I'd had enough. I banged on the wall. "Hey, keep it down!" I yelled. The tapping stopped. For a moment, there was only silence. Then the faintest sound of laughter. A child's giggle, high-pitched and eerie. My heart skipped. I pressed my ear to the wall. Nothing. The next morning, I saw Mr. Grayson sweeping the hallway and mentioned the noise. His face went pale. "No one lives next door," he said, his voice tight. I laughed nervously. Maybe someone snuck in. "No," he snapped. "No one lives there anymore." That night, the tapping started earlier. I ignored it, pulling my blanket over my head, but it didn't stop. Instead, it spread. Now the sound came from the ceiling, the floor, even the window. It wasn't just tapping anymore. It was scratching. I sat bolt upright when the child's laughter returned. This time, it didn't stop. It echoed around me, getting louder and louder until I screamed, "Leave me alone!" The sound cut off instantly. The room fell silent. Then my phone lit up. A text from an unknown number. "Don't yell. You'll wake her up." My blood ran cold. Before I could react, the smell hit me. A thick, cloying stench of rot. I gagged and turned toward the source. The closet. I stood frozen, my breath shallow. Slowly the closet door creaked open, inch by inch, revealing darkness so deep it seemed to absorb the light. "Please," I whispered, unsure of who or what I was begging. A face appeared, pale, bruised, and sunken, with hollow eyes that stared right into mine. Her lips twisted into a grin as she spoke, her voice a guttural rasp. "You're the noisy one now." The door slammed shut, and the room was silent again. I didn't sleep that night. By morning, I had packed everything and was ready to leave. As I rushed out, Mr. Grayson stopped me in the hall. "She showed herself, didn't she?" he asked softly. I nodded, trembling. "She always does. That's why the last tenant left." He sighed. "But you can't leave. Not anymore." Before I could respond, the door to my apartment slammed shut behind me, locking on its own. The scratching started again, louder this time, coming from inside.